Tugaya is a wealth of old charms, from ostentatious royal houses to the tiny details in their cultural objects. A town that represents the intricate and splendid Maranao arts and crafts, carrying the stories of its vibrant and unique cultural tapestry. This municipality, also known as Tugaya, is known as the industrial capital of Lanao del Sur due to its Maranao crafts, which includes the making of brasswares, wooden drums, musical instruments, malong, and woodworks, among others. Tugaya is located on the shores of the largest lake on Mindanao Island, Lake Lanao. Tugaya is unique in that the town is inhabited almost entirely by craftsmen and artisans of various pursuits. Each household specializes in some form of art or craft, a universe of exquisite folk art, from backstrap loom weaving, tapestry weaving, and other kinds of handmade textile manufacture, foundry casting of various forms of brass or bronze vessels, instruments, and decorative items, and the famous wood carving and mother of pearl inlay work. The traditional carving of wood among the Maranao is immense work. Yet, while almost every male in Lanao has some knowledge of this art, only those who has undergone a certain ritual eventually engage in it. The ritual is performed in honor of the Tuminawan Saragon, the mythical patron of art, and this involves a bloodletting ceremony in which a chicken is butchered and its blood sprinkled on the hands and tools of the would-be carver. From this community come the artisans, called upon to decorate major forms of carving traditions, where the penchant for the artistic spills out into everyday games and mundane articles of domestic use. Kapangokir or carving can be found in different media, such as wood, stone, bamboo, horn, and ivory. However, the best examples of these carving are found in wood carvings. For the panolong or house beam, arco or arches, musical instruments such as the kutyapi or lute, lansa, boat artworks, house tools, kitchen utensils, agricultural equipments, and grave markers. The Maranao Tinay Awalay or central beam is also intricately carved with okir designs. The kaban o baor or chest box is carved and inlaid with tipay or mother of pearl. The carver's tools are few and very crude when compared with modern carving tools. The basic ones are the curved knife, also called as nawi, the chisel or the banasang, the axe or the patok, and the charcoal of pencil for lining. For coloring, if this is desired, as is usual for the musical instruments rack, the langkongan or kulintang, plant dyes are used, although chemical dyes are becoming popular nowadays. Woodworking also includes manufacture of decorative objects, ornate furniture such as the traditional storage chest or baor, musical instruments such as the large drum of dadabuan, and ceremonial 12-foot tall Maranao drums, such as were used for the adhan in the 1800s. The baor at Titipayan, a treasure box or storage, is made of wood and a prime example of this heritage of wood carving. It has tipay or pure shells which were cut into little pieces and used to decorate the baor with a dazzling array of a carved motif called okir. It will take 2 to 3 months for the craftsman to finish an average sized baor, while the smallest baor will only take 3 to 4 hours to create. Apart from using it as storage, it can be used as a chair, center table, or side table. The shining, playful, and reflected light of mother of pearl has attracted the attention of human beings since prehistoric times. Societies, tribes, and nations have all added the technology of their day to their experience, knowledge, and understanding, and they have turned mother of pearl from one form into another. Though mother of pearl is quite widespread around the world, its assumption of the aspect of a magnificent branch of the arts after many generations began in the Philippines when it came into the hands of the Maranao artisans in Tugaya.
Yung tipay, buo na siya. Nakaganon na siya. Yung ulo niya pinuputol. Tapos, ito putulin ito. Pinapaliitin yung mga tipay, ilalagay ng ito.
Mother of pearl or tipay is the shell of mollusks such as mussels and oysters as well as of pseudopods such as snails. Though if we were to refer it only as shell or also commonly called as nacre, the iridescent internal layer of a mollusk shell. In the inlaying method, the surface which is to be decorated in mother of pearl is marked with a hard point. The grooves of thin designs are opened with a fine chisel and the material is set into them. The motifs known as the okir, whose outlines are thus drawn, are carved out to a depth of 2 or 3 millimeters using gouges and prepared for the mother of pearl inlays. In the gluing method, the mother of pearls are made to adhere the surface by means of auxiliary substances, while in the paste method or scattering method, mother of pearls in small pieces are made to adhere sometimes on a definite line, sometimes at random. The interstices are filled with the paste of a color which harmonizes with the auxiliary material being used in the work. The art of mother of pearl working is a branch of the arts which is intimately involved with wood. One needs to choose one's wood according to the method of the work to be done. In the inlaying method, the artisans prefer to use hard wood such as nara, masudan, a local wood found in the Lanao forest, and the favorite wood from the jackfruit tree or known locally as langka or badak. These kinds of hardwood are suitable for carving and does not become brittle upon carving. In the gluing method, on the other hand, the wood must be of an even tempered nature. Nara and langka wood, which are unaffected by heat or cold, and which maintains the same straightness for years, even centuries, are the wood most suited for this technique. In the gluing technique, the surface may be covered entirely in mother of pearl, or else auxiliary materials may be used together with it. The Pairaan is a rich example of Maranao art. It not only illustrates the dichotomy of artistic inclinations according to sexes, but at the same time blends these two dichotomous inclinations, the geometric angular designs of women as against the curvilinear smooth designs of men, into one coherent whole. And inasmuch as the fern-like or the flowing arabesque vines are interpreted as the symbolic of the tree of life in heaven, that there is the Pairaan also an indication of the interconnectedness of the Maranao art with mythical and other folk beliefs. The many woodworks carved, inlaid, and painted feature this distinctive and decorative motif, the traditional Maranao form of decoration, the okir design. The various okir designs on carved wood present a rectilinear and curvilinear plant-based designs and folk motifs that are stylized and often easy to tell whether a carving is Maranao or not. Okir can be divided into two traditions: the predominantly curvilinear male Okir Adato and the predominantly rectilinear female Okir Abay. Traditional creatures featured in Okir are the Naga or the flying serpent and the Sarimano with feminine papanok, a rooster-like bird with a fish in its beak and another fish in its claws. The naga is common in the panolong designs, while sarimano are usually placed on top of poles during celebrations. Basic okir motifs are birdo, the motif of growing vines or railing plants, often etched on a horizontal rectangular panel, but also on the vertical or oblique. Magoyada, the motif dominated by the naga or the serpent figure and complemented by other leaf motifs. Takurapong, the motif of a fern growing in an upward direction, usually from a central point where all other designs emanate. Nyaga-nyaga, the motif dominated by the naga plus leaves, vines, and flowers. Armalis, the motif combining designs of fern, leaf, and the bud. Obid-obid or the tiali-tali, the coiled rope-like motif. Magtila, the circle motif. Kapal, the leaf motif. Todi, the flower motif, and just to name a few of these designs. What is discernible in the okir is that the work of women is generally more geometric, while of the men, more floral. The preferred wood for this carving tradition are the nara or basudan, second-class nara found in Lanao Forest, and the astonishing fruit tree, the jackfruit or badak. The jackfruit or Artocarpus heterophyllus, also known as jacktree or langka, nangka, or badak in Maranao, is a species of tree in the fig, mulberry, and breadfruit family or the Moraceae, found all around Southeast Asia including the West Indies. The jack tree is well suited to tropical lowlands and is widely cultivated throughout tropical regions of the world. Bears the largest fruit of all trees, reaching as much as 55 kg in weight, 90 cm or 35 inches in length, and 55 centimeters or 20 inches in diameter. A mature jack tree produces some 200 fruits per year, with older trees bearing up to 500 fruits per year. Jackfruit is commonly used in South and Southeast Asian cuisines. Both ripe and unripe fruits are consumed, and culturally, an important staple for the Maranao commonly used in a spicy curried dish called Yarin Abada, prepared during important occasions and big events. Young jackfruit is boiled with chilies, turmeric, and coconut milk. The ripe fruit, besides also being eaten raw as it is also preserved by storing in syrup or by drying. The seeds are also boiled before being eaten. The badak or langka wood used in many woodworks by the artisans is a golden yellow timber with gold grain commonly used for building furniture and house construction in many areas of Lanao. It is termite-proof and is superior to teak for building furniture. Jackfruit wood worldwide is widely used in the manufacture of furniture, doors and windows, in roof construction, and fish sauce barrels.
Yung kahoy ng langka, badak, yan ang pinakamagandang ginagawa ng buwan. Ginagawa ng mga ganito. Kasi pwede na ako makabigay ng warranty. Kung badak ito, halimbawa, kung badak ito, yung pinakamatigas sa badak, yung yellow niya, pwede na makaabot sa mga 100 taon. Hindi kakainin ng bukbok.
The wood of the tree is used for the production of musical instruments. In Indonesia, hardwood from the trunk is carved out to form the barrels of drums used in gamelan. And in Mindanao, specifically, its softwood is made into the body of kutyapi, a type of boat lute, body of large and small drums, paor or chest, and other significant woodworks made by the Maranao artisans. In terms of taking care of the plant, minimal pruning is required. Cutting off dead branches from the interior of the tree is only sometimes needed. In addition, Twigs bearing fruit must be twisted or cut down to the trunk to induce growth for the next season. Branches should be pruned every 3 to 4 years to maintain productivity. Some trees carry too many mediocre fruits, and these are usually removed to allow the others to develop better to maturity. These hand-carved tradition with intricate okir motifs and inlaid with Tipay polished shells using langka or badak wood brings together all of the people's folk art and ingenuity into one cohesive visual extravaganza. However, the significant value of these unique tradition must be passed down to the next generation and secure its place within the Philippine heritage worth preserving. In these changing times, and just like many traditional cultures and arts around the world, the Maranao Pangokiran must also live with great challenges. Among them is the impact of cultural globalization, where it is beneficial for socializing values. It diffuses some cultural traits as it undergoes along the process of interaction. As such, the far-reaching domination of technology and the powerful sway of attraction of popular culture are its staunch threat. In addition, it is also losing patronage, and the decline of interest among young Maranao to learn is making this heritage reach its early demise. Then, of course, the seemingly never-ending issue of peace in the region. Thus, all these factors stifle our desire of keeping these traditions for the next generation and beyond. That is why projects like Balag and Tukod that aims to perpetuate and promote these kind of cultural traditions are being undertaken. And students who are still willing to learn, including artisans who are still carving the okir, then we believe that there is still a hope. Langka, beginnings, traditions, and innovations is one of the 10 valuable projects all over the country under the Balag at Tukod project that represents the interdependence in the culture-economy development nexus, especially in this time of crisis. This project also promotes various state indicators such as promotion of intangible culture, enhanced economic productivity, conservation of environment, broad-based beneficiaries, as well as documentation and safekeeping of cultural heritage. Specifically, the Langka project will aim to conduct a Langka tree planting in selected areas in Lanao del Sur, write modules on the different uses of the Langka and its integration to the DAP and basic education curriculum, specifically in the usage of the MTBMLE, to produce instructional videos on the Maranao wood carving traditions using Langka tree wood as material for production, and to train teachers for the integration of modules in the basic education. That is also why we enjoin everyone to engage with us to empower the youth in preserving their future through understanding their past and rich cultural heritage through a vibrant cultural education. Let us help raise the indigenous voices in celebration of who they are and all that they hope to become.
Please, won't you wait? Won't you stay? At least down till the sun goes down. When you're gone, I lose faith. I lose everything I have found. Heartstrings, violence. That's what I hear when you're by my side. Ooh.